Seek it out and ye shall find. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. And I don't think the world is sold. I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. And I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I could lie, could lie. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the
Here's of ramen, 2 things of rice, a thing of black beans, a thing of sweet peas, and this pretty big size loaf of bread. So here's one of the meals that I got. It's like a frozen thing. Here are the nutrition facts. Look at the sodium. So it looks like.
Right now I'm going to prepare my meal. I gotta remove the film and take out the chicken nuggets.
Well, my first meal of this whole experience is ramen. And you can see it's not very appetizing, but it makes me realize the struggle people go through and what they actually have to eat with the amount of money that they have.
So these are my food: red beans and rice, beans, rice, and sardine.
So, as a result of this experiment of living under $2 a day, I wanted to give an update every day with what I ate and how I felt, but after only eating rice and beans for 3 days, the last thing I wanted to do was schoolwork. So, every day for the past 3 days, I ate yellow rice, dried pinto beans after I cooked them, and a can of green beans, ramen, and water. So I had to give up tea, I had to give up quinoa, kale, oranges, everything that I would eat on a normal basis. I pretty much had to give up.
So I did the experiment for 2 whole days. I did it on Saturday and Sunday, a weekend. I thought it would be easier without classes and everything. So for lunch, the first day I had a packet of ramen, and then for dinner I had a frozen meal. And even between the meals, like, my stomach was growling, like, it was just like completely unsatisfying. And I started getting like really cranky and agitated because I had to apologize to people because my grumbling stomach was driving me crazy, and it's hard when everyone only wants to go out to eat. So the first day was really hard, and then the second day I had 2 frozen meals, which were just disgusting. The chicken was just not of high quality, so that was really tough.
So I am dying, I'm hungry, frustrated. Since I'm so hungry, shoot me.
So unfortunately, I became sick as a result of this experiment. I immediately noticed a difference in the quality of food compared to what I normally buy versus what I was able to afford this time, which was not quality food at all. Also, I thought I had a brilliant meal plan that would last me throughout the day and I would not experience hunger. I was wrong. Bread is not the same thing as a bagel, so when I woke up in the morning and had a piece of bread for breakfast, it was just completely bland and dry. And of course, the $1 loaf of bread that I got from Walmart became stale after the second day, so it was just not something to wake up and look forward to. Also, it was kind of hard to stick to just drinking water. I didn't really notice how much I just drank coffee and juice and milk all the time.
And then for lunch, I only had half a ramen. So essentially, I starved myself throughout the day. And my dinners were pretty filling, but again, having the same thing every day for 4 days in a row, it was very redundant and became just unappetizing after a while. But by doing this project, we researched and found that 40% of the world's population lives on $2 a day or less. And that varies country by country. So in America, only 1.5% of our population lives on that amount, but countries in Africa, mainly Central Africa, over 80% of their population lives on $2 a day or less. So by doing this experiment, I'm able to sympathize with those populations, but not completely, because our budget simply covered food. It didn't account for total living expenses, which we discussed earlier in this film. So while this was not a fun experiment, and I definitely don't ever want to do it again, it was very eye-opening, and it did change my perception and value that I place on food, and for that I'm grateful.
So it's day 2. I'm hungry. I don't want to eat anything I got. It all sounds gross. Right now I'm going to prepare a chicken nugget meal. Got it for $1. Since I got it for $1, I don't think it's going to be good. When I opened it, I think I can agree that it's not going to be good. But I'm going to give it a shot.
This has been very difficult for me because with the lack of eating, my energy level has gone down. I've been very tired and very angry and very annoyed by people just because of the lack of food. This has been a very interesting experience too, because it made me realize, made me open my eyes to what people do every single day of their lives. I really don't know how they do it, but I have a lot of respect for those people, and this is just very, very just a bad situation for them. So today's the last day of this experience, and I'm gonna try my best to finish it because I'm still very, very, very hungry, and I only have these 2 foods left. So we'll see how it goes.
Hi. So I would like to talk to you guys a little bit about how our documentary is somewhat misleading, because being a student in America, you really cannot survive on just $2 a day. For example, I live off campus, so my rent bill for this month was $1,238.86. My bill for Verizon, which is cable and internet, is $87.82 for this month. And finally, my bill for Tico this month was $63.73. I also have 2 labs who eat a lot of food, so I spend around $110 on dog food every month. But if you were to divide that by 30 days in a month, it comes out to be around $3.67. So my dogs are eating above the limit that we were assigned for this project. It's also important to include the tuition at UT. Since I don't have to pay for room and board, it's a little bit decreased for me personally, so it comes out to be $26,330. But if you were to divide that by 12 months in a year, that would be $2,194 a month. Also, I spend a lot of money on my car. I spend about $40 in gas per month, so I have a pretty fuel-efficient car. However, I also pay $167 a month in car insurance, and I'm leasing my car, so I'm paying an additional $180 a month just to have the car. So if you total all those figures up, for me, I spend $4,081.41 per month, but if you divide that by 30 days, I am spending roughly $136 a day to live. Now, this doesn't include groceries, because typically I would spend around $250 of groceries per month, but for the sake of this project,
You never realize how lucky you are and how many resources you have until you have to live without them. especially when your friends are like, hey, want to go to Chipotle, or hey, want to whatever on a Saturday and a weekend. A lot of people eat out. So I had a really hard time with that because all my friends, were going out to dinner and I couldn't participate. And if I went, I would just be watching them eat, which is no fun. So that was really hard.
I did notice that things in America are a lot more expensive. When I went to Serbia this past summer, it was relatively easy to buy a lot of fresh produce for very little money. And if you are poor in America, you don't have that option. Your best bet is to go to McDonald's and eat off the dollar menu. And honestly, that is, if you want a hot cooked meal that has a little more flavor than dried beans, those are your only options. Concentrating on work became very difficult. I learned to become very resourceful and possessive over food, which was never a problem before. The 5-second rule no longer mattered. If something fell on the floor, I ate it right away. I didn't let anything go to waste. I couldn't use any spices when preparing the food. I couldn't use any oils or butters or anything of that nature. Not being able to cook vegetables was very difficult for me. I became very cranky, and as a result of this, it ended around Thanksgiving time, and I made it 3 days, but at the same time, people don't have the option to just call it quits, and it definitely opened up my eyes to the poverty struggle, especially in America, where it's hard to find fresh fruits and vegetables for cheaper prices than in most places. So I learned a lot.
I see this life like a swinging vine, swing my heart across the line. In my face is flashing signs, seek it out and ye shall find. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. And I don't think the world is sold, I'm just doing what we're told.
Done cooking. It looks gross. I don't want to eat it. The chicken and everything has a weird tint color to it. It's gross. Really bad.
Okay. Well, dinner.